welcome to Google Teacher Tips. This video is going to walk you through some of the best practices in closing out the school year with Google Classroom and its connected tools. Now, you're going to want to start this process a week or two before the end of the year. It's going to help you as you close out your grading, as you close out cleaning up everything with your classrooms. As you build that end of the year to-do list, you're going to want to add a lot of this stuff to that. So we're going to go ahead and dive in and get started. Thanks. The first step in closing out your Google Classroom is going to be making sure that you've completed all of your tasks in Classroom for the year. So navigate over here to the three bars, and then you're going to navigate to the to-do section. Hopefully this is familiar to you, but if not, just a quick overview. To-do organizes all of your class assignments that you've given your classes, and it'll give you a quick view of how many students have turned them in, how many students have they been assigned to, etc. Now on the main page, you'll see all of your classrooms appear, so you're going to want to organize it by the classes that you want to start with. So go to one of your active classes first, and then you'll see the to-do list here has a list of all the assignments that I need to catch up on right now. And then you'll see the first one are assignments with no due dates, and then the next ones are assignments that are work in progress. So these do have due dates, and I am getting to grade them. So what you want to make sure you do at the end of the year is you want to make sure you're marking these assignments as done. So that way, when you get to the end of your year, this is a great way just to double check that you have all your grades entered from classwork that you've done in class. Now, you can click on the assignment to do that. I generally right click it and click open in new tab, or you can click the three dots right here and mark as reviewed if you just want to get it out of the way. So if you right click it and click open in new tab, it pulls up a new tab for you where you have the assignment. Now, you all know what this assignment view looks like. You have all your student work here, and then you have the grades on the left side. Now, if you just want to kind of send back the work, it's something you're not want to grade, go ahead and change that to ungraded. And then you'll check all students and click return, and it's just going to give them a check mark that says they've completed the work. So that's something you can do if you want to get that work back to your students and get it checked off your to-do list. So you're going to want to do that with all of your assignments. Make sure you have your grades entered and everything cleaned up. Now, once you've done all of that, you're going to navigate over to your kind of main classroom page. Click classes there, and this is when you can start archiving these old classes. So once you've cleaned it out, everything's complete, you're going to hit those three dots, and then you're going to click archive. And what that's going to do is it's going to hide it away, it's going to archive it. It doesn't delete the classroom, you actually still have access to it, but it's going to get out of your visual way, and it's going to kind of close it out for the year. You're going to want to do is head over to your Google Calendar, and you're going to want to go ahead and get rid of those calendars from those classrooms. So if you go to the left side of calendar here under my calendars, you're going to scroll down until you see the calendars that you want to get rid of. So find that calendar. So here's one of my old classes, American History 2, first and second. You're going to hover over it, click the three dots. You're going to click settings and sharing. And then at the bottom of those settings, scroll all the way down. There's an unsubscribe and a delete button. I'm going to recommend you go ahead and delete that classroom. Click permanently delete, and that way it'll clean up your calendars and get rid of those classes that you're not using anymore. What you're going to want to do is go to your Google Drive, and you're going to want to find your classroom folder. This is where Google Classroom stores all of your assignments and your students' work. Inside of this folder, what I recommend is that you create an archive folder. So you're going to click New. You're going to click Folder. And then you're going to create an archive. Now what you'll do with this is you'll drop any of your old classes into that folder. So you'll notice if you have not ever archived, you're going to have a ton of folders in here. So go ahead and start dragging and dropping, and you can select as many as you want to and put them in that folder. This way, next year when you come to your Drive, all you'll have are the active classes or clubs that you have in your Google Classroom. It's a great way to kind of clean it up visually, but also still give you access to old assignments. The next thing you can do as Drive is edit your Shared With Me folder. Now, the thing with Shared With Me, it's a pretty tall task to organize. The Shared With Me folder is never going to be super clean because people are constantly going to be sharing documents, videos, slides, sheets, etc. with you over and over again. So if you want to clean it up a little bit, I do have some tips for you. So you can go through and you can delete anything you want to with Shared With Me. The main thing you want to make sure you've done is, if you want to save something, take this student video for example, you need to make sure that you've added it to your Drive. Click Add to your Drive and it'll put it in your Drive. So when I delete this video from Shared With Me, it's not deleting access from myself, but it's already been added into my Google Drive. And for the most part, that is actually pretty good practice when you're using Google Drive. Whenever you get a Shared With Me file, you're either going to look at it and never address it again, or you're going to look at it, it's a file you need, and you're going to save it to your Drive. So make sure throughout the year as you do that, just save things to your Drive that you need and delete things that you don't. So I can come in here, I can click on these and just delete what I don't need. It's kind of an uphill battle. It's not something that I tackle. I just kind of let my Shared With Me be what it is, but it's up to you if that's something you want to take on. Last item I recommend to close out the year with Google Classroom is going to be something that I find of personal benefit to me, and that is template classrooms. Template classrooms are something I use to operate all of my classes out of. I store and organize my assignments in them. It's a class that doesn't have any students in it, but it has all of my assignments for the year. So I have my American History 2 template class. It's also a great way to be able to collaborate with coworkers, so other people who teach this class, I can share it with them so they can grab assignments from here as well. If I click in the classwork tab, you'll see I have all of my class organized by units with my assignments entered in here. So at the end of the year, it's a great thing to go through, organize your template class, make sure you have everything the way you want it, add in new assignments, delete assignments you don't want to use anymore, update your documents, etc. Now, if a template class isn't something you've done before, there's two ways you can set it up. You can use one of your classes from this year, just delete out all of your students, rename it into a template class, and then you can use those assignments in that organization as your template class moving forward. What I recommend though, which is what I did with this class, is just to take the summer or the beginning of next year and just enter all your assignments into this template classroom clean, exactly the way you want it organized, exactly the way you want everything worded. And then that way you have a nice clean template class you can use to pull it into other classrooms. So when you have that template class and you go into another class, all you have to do under the classwork page is click Create, click Reuse Post, and then you can pull all of your assignments from that template class for the next year. So everything you need to do is pretty much done. You'll see I've organized it by numbers, so I just follow that number pattern as I assign each assignment. Thanks for taking the time to view this video. If you have any questions, feel free to just leave a comment below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Obviously, there's a lot more things you can do in Classroom, Drive, Calendar, email to clean out the end of the year, but this is just a good way to get started and begin making that clean slate for the next year. Thanks.